Green Lantern issue 3, Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp on this book. So I saw on Twitter just, you know, the reaction in general on Wednesday, Thursday kind of time, that everyone was kind of saying this was the best issue of the 3 yet. And that the final page was a doozy, what it's setting up for things. So Car's been liking this the most by far. So
yeah, interestingly, the final page is maybe where I'm conflicted the most on this book, where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like this.
Oh, interesting.
The rest of this issue, I am so into.
Interesting. How did you feel about this issue in general, Matt?
Yeah, I'm out. I'm pulling the bus stop. This is where I get off.
This is what I want from Morrison.
Yeah, see, that's fine, but that's not what I want. Like, I wanted him to get back to Space Cop. I just should have chose my words carefully, because this is a monkey paw. It's like, yeah, how's it going to go back to being a space cop? But it's going to be Morrison Space Cop. And then that monkey paw finger went...
As the front cover puts it, he tries to arrest God.
Yeah, and I'm just like...
He tries to arrest God, and the analogy that this story is for is so, like... There's no subtlety to this issue.
No, there's no nuance.
No, there's no... I'm not going to pretend there's subtlety.
It's just, it is what it is. And I was kind of alluding to this earlier, but I need another Green Lantern book. Like, I'm fine with this existing, and I'm not going to jump off like Matt. I'm happy to keep reading it just to see what's going on. I don't hate it, but I need a proper Green Lantern book alongside it.
Yeah,
I'm loving this book. I want a classic Green Lantern book alongside it as well. Like, clearly, as I discussed earlier, indicated.
This to cancel Green Lantern so this can be the only book angers me now, because you could have them concurrent. You know,
totally could have both. Yeah, there's no reason.
There was no reason that this had to be the only book, other than Morrison being like, "Well, I need it to be by itself so it stands out as the Green Lantern book, because we're gonna have the to the title."
So
you know,
the plot of this then, the last issue ended with Earth being, kidnapped, basically, and it's been auctioned off, and this godlike figure comes in and buys it.
Yeah, I love how it's like Apocalypse and the Dominators are bidding for Earth.
Thanos is there. That's clearly Liam Sharp drawing Thanos.
What?
in that page. He's at the bottom where it says Slave Lords of the Stars. He is next to the guy with the burning eyes.
On the first page. Yeah, no, you're right.
That's clearly Thanos.
Page, the title page, the bottom panel.
The title page.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, he looks Thanosy. Yes.
Yeah, I'll give it.
That cracked me up. And then it looked like the breaking news guy looked like Glorious Godfrey that we had seen in Morrison, or not Morrison. God, this book has messed up my brain. Tom King's and Mr. Miracle. And that version of him where he was the newscaster, where it looked like. But yeah, Sharp's art I think looks great. Like, it was giving me shades of Brave and the Bold again, which I really enjoyed. But just the stuff that it's doing, and just not interested in GL arresting
Sharp's
God.
art is good throughout this. Whenever it gets to the stuff with the God figure, I think it's phenomenal.
Yep, it goes up to that next level.
Yeah,
because where he's standing there with
all the planets.
all the worlds.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best page in the issue, is when he's standing in his domain with all these planets.
That is a gorgeous image.
So it turns out this god figure is actually a planet eater who likes to fatten the world up before it eventually eats them. And where it gets really, because it already mentions that the Earth is kind of, because when they're auctioning off the planet, like, people are the aliens are complaining, oh, but they've already ruined the planet this amount. Yeah. So obviously that's kind of obvious, but later on, basically, Hal's trying to tell the people of Earth, no, don't agree to, which, this is one of these, like, large concept things that really bugs me in comics, where, like, so this is in continuity, and the entire planet's been kidnapped, and the people of Earth know it's been kidnapped. There's like a brief bit where it says, on the news, there's like, the tides have all changed, and everything, all these wacky things are happening because we're not in, like, our regular rotation.
Or out of our orbit.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, fine, that's just fine if you want to do, like, a whole big story about this, but it feels like it's going to be such a throwaway thing that's never going to be mentioned in any other book, that it kind of bugs me.
There's a
as
lot
far as
of
I'm concerned,
comics,
this is
though,
out of
isn't
continuity.
It's the same with like Drowned Earth, which I enjoyed Drowned Earth, but it also kind of bugs me that everyone on Earth got turned into a fish for like a week.
Yeah.
You know, like just when I think about it, like everyone on Earth
remember
got
that,
turned
Pete?
into a fish.
I
Yeah.
got turned into an octopus. It was weird.
No, I can't argue with this. It is such a weird thing, but it's one of those that also is so common that I just kind of roll with it.
Yeah, it bugs me.
Like, you know, like you said, like, Drowned Earth, we didn't really question it, right? It's clearly in continuity.
Yeah,
Clearly affected the whole world, but yeah, whatever.
But
This I was like, there's out of continuity, and then there's this. This
But
is like
the point I'm getting
down the
to
street.
though that is that people on Earth basically, like Hal tells them, he's just fattening you up because he eventually wants to eat Earth and kill everyone, but it'll take like a while. It'll take maybe a couple of generations. It'll be your great grandkids. Are you willing to sacrifice your great grandkids' future so that you can have immediate gain? And you know the guy's like, yeah, pretty much. That sounds alright.
Which I love. That's an idiocracy moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
and
yeah.
I love the bit of the shepherd. I think that was his name.
Mm.
Going, hey, they, you know, the inhabitants of Earth agreed to this, and Hal's like, what? Come on, and he goes, I mean, I spoke to all those insects and bacteria, and they're all quite happy for it. And Hal's like, they don't count. So why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all just as small to me.
So the big ending though is that Hal like, kills one of the suspects. Like he goes full evil or corrupt cop.
Yeah.
Presumably being influenced by something, or presumably this isn't really Hal, because we know the bad guys kidnapped the other one. What do we call him?
Yeah.
Thingy Hal.
They're not dark stars, but they're
Yeah.
Black
Stars?
Black Stars.
black
Yes.
stars. Yeah.
Yes. They've got the antimatter lantern, who does look like Hal. I don't know if they've repurposed him, and this at the end here isn't really Hal. I don't know.
Yeah, could be.
Guess he's to be
You
made.
guys have to let me know, because I've not read Green Lantern before. So
This is one of those moments that I'm not angry. It's one of those, it's a comics cliffhanger, right?
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I don't know if that really happened or not, because it's so un-Hal for him to just kill someone and goes, hey, you're sorry, it was self-defense, right? And, you know, clearly wasn't.
Well, it wasn't like right. He's angry. He's like, it was self-defense. And that's what you're going to tell the Guardians. That's how it came off to me.
That's the point. Is that it isn't out of character and it's meant to be a cliffhanger. It's just kind of like, whatever. Like
It's easily my least favorite moment of this issue.
This was one of the first things I read this week, and I totally forgot about the ending because of all the other batshit stuff that happened. So
I will give it credit for being the most straightforward issue. Not so much that I think comics should always be more straightforward. I just think Morrison should be more straightforward, given his typical writing style. So I thought it was easier to read than the last two issues. Did I enjoy it more? Maybe a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, I really need a proper Green Lantern book alongside this. Like this can't be the only Green Lantern book.
yeah.
This is the Grant Morrison I don't like that much.
No, here's the thing, though. I'm loving this book, but I completely understand why people aren't. And I definitely want a second, more traditional Green Lantern core book alongside it, because I've got room for both of them. Why shouldn't everyone else? You know, why should we have to choose between this or a typical Green Lantern book? I mean, if I had to choose, it would very much depend on the team of what the other Green Lantern book was going to be. If I had to pick one for sure, I wouldn't just choose the abstract concept of a traditional Green Lantern book over this necessarily, because I am enjoying this.
Oh, here's the beauty of it. Like, that's the thing. They're not giving us a choice. They've taken the choice away from us.
No, exactly, and that is irritating. I agree. We should have.
And I feel that's what drives my thing of, well, I'm just not going to read it then, because if they don't want to give me a Lantern book to read, that, you know.
I don't feel like I'm reading like a proper comic book. I feel like I'm reading Grant Morrison's weird like thing.
You
are, and I love that. I'm so into it.
Once we got to the Shepherd buying the planet, I was just like, these are the Scorpions from the Kevin Smith podcast. If they show up, the Scorpion assassins, this is just him, and that's fine. And like, I love listening to Morrison talk about comics. I don't know if I like reading Morrison comics. You know, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm super stoked to read Super Gods that I got for Christmas.
Oh, that's a great book, yeah.
Yeah, but like this edges to the stuff of his I don't like. His Batman run's one of my favorite of all time, but it's very straightforward until the end when
it's as straightforward as Morrison gets.
Yeah, up until the return of Bruce Wayne, then you're just like, I'm out.
Yeah, but that's a mini. You can ignore that and just keep reading Batman and Robin. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
so,
yeah. I mean, what are we rating it, Matt? What are you giving Green Lantern?
This is a 6. The art alone, it looks great. Like, I'm not going to take away, but the story just wasn't feeling.
Connor?
Oh, this is a 9.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go with Matt and give it a 6. I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. It's just, it's weird, and I wish it wasn't what it was.
I know at this point I've been reading comics long enough to know what's for me and what's not for me. Yeah. This is not for me.
Out of interest, Pete, obviously you're much more open on this than I'm at this point. If there was another Green Lantern book alongside this, would you be less annoyed at this book, and would you be like, yeah, sure, I'll just keep reading it anyway, or would you be more likely to drop it because you're getting your fix of Green Lantern elsewhere?
I'd be less annoyed, but also more likely to drop it.
Fair enough.
Because I've got a Green Lantern book, I don't really need to read it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Well, I mean, that's what he did with Hal and Pals and Green Lanterns. Like, he's like, Hal and Pals doesn't do anything for me, but I like Green Lanterns. So
yeah, no, and I agree. I like having the choice of because both of those books were very different styles of book.
Yeah,
I ended up enjoying both to varying degrees. But why not have both?